talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It's gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on in to the Phillies post-game show. The Phillies get a comeback win against the Cincinnati Reds this fine, what even is today, Monday night. And it was a beautiful thing for multiple reasons, right? You had Bryson Stott coming in clutch. You had Alec Boehm actually showing up, hitting a bomb. You had Duran coming in the ninth. It was just a beautiful thing. It was an absolutely beautiful thing. And I'd love to talk with y'all in the comments. But let's get into it. Bryson Stott, he's just been absolutely outstanding. He hit that home run after Brad Keller and Jose Alvarado blew it in the previous innings. And those are guys that I have not liked, which is why I think that the Phillies should 100%, rather than go for a bat, go for a bullpen arm. Because we've seen Jose Alvarado, when he's not on the juice, man, it's a rough scene. It's a rough scene, but Bryson Stott absolutely bailed them out. And this stat comes courtesy of John Clark. Gavin brought it to my attention in our Phillies group chat. Bryson Stott has 18 RBIs in 17 games this month, and he's tied for the most RBIs in the month of May. We've all talked about the top of the lineup not doing its job playoffs, and that's obviously still the case. But if you can get guys like Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm going, Justin Crawford, I mean, he's a shoo-in for at least a 270 batting average, bunch of RBIs. I don't know if it'll matter much. And just a few years ago, people forget this guy, Bryson Stott, he was hitting a solid 280, 290. I'll double check myself. But he was in his first rookie year. He was the same guy that in 22 against the Braves got things going. He got things going in that game. And then, what was it? Bryce Harper hit that home run. Bryce Hoskins with the not the bat. Yeah, the bat spike. I forget what it's called. Whatever. Bryce Hoskins hit one of the most iconic home runs in Phillies history. There, I said it. I was there. That stadium was incredibly loud, incredibly rowdy, and that was all started by Bryson Stott. And I think my point in saying all this, man, if he can get going, it don't matter what. Well, I guess it does matter what the top of the lineup does. But we saw over the weekend against the Pirates, Kyle Schwarber going off, Bryce Harper being what Bryce Harper is. It just adds to what this lineup can be. And everybody's like, oh, the Dodgers. yeah, they're still probably my World Series pick. But if you have this entire lineup going, all bets are off. All bets are off, and this team can make a run, especially with the new the new manager, the new energy. The Phillies, I've been rolling with Don Mattingly. The Phillies now 5 straight. They are now 16-4, courtesy of Gavin, under Philly Don, which it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then Alec Boehm, all of a sudden, he has been on fire the last couple of weeks. Well, not last couple of weeks, last couple of games, but there's still, there's still absolutely some credence to the Alec Boehm, stuff, and there's been some positive signs. In his last 15 games, he has been 18. In his last 15 games, Alec Boehm is 18 for 54. That's a 333 batting average, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 4 walks, a 935 OPS. And, he started off the year cold. Absolutely. He was hit 151 through April. And I'll admit, I was a guy that was like, hey, this guy doesn't have the mental fortitude to play in this city. He doesn't have the heart to battle through adversity. But in this month of May, we've seen him turn it around. Now, at the same time, we haven't really, played the best opponents of all time. And this stretch coming up against these next couple of teams after this Red Series, and that ends in 2 games. Excuse me. It gets really tough. Admittedly, really tough. You go up against the Guardians, you go up against the Padres, then you go up against the Dodgers. That's going to be a bunch of late games, unfortunately for us. But then you go play the Padres again back at home. Then you play the White Sox. The White Sox, for some reason, they've become the 27 Yankees all of a sudden. I just saw a walk-off. Not walk-off. I just saw a big home run from those guys the other day. Then you play the Blue Jays, who just made the World Series last year. So this is going to be after this Red Series. And the Reds, they're no slouch. I mean, I think they have the same record as us right now. They have a 20. Well, now they're at 500 because we just beat them today in the first game of the series. But they're no team to slouch at. And Chase Burns, who we're going up against tomorrow, is no guy to slouch at. So I'm glad that the Phillies got one done today. Speaking of getting it done, Johan Duran. I feel like we haven't talked about this guy enough. Duran is absolutely outstanding. And while there are 100% weak spots in this bullpen, Alvarado, Keller, even Banks, Johan Duran is not one of those guys. He's been absolutely outstanding for the Philadelphia Phillies, and he is your lockdown closer that you haven't had since Jonathan Papelbon. And honestly, he may end up being the best Phillies closer in the history of the franchise. Better than Ledge. Better than the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. Better than Papelbon. or as I like to call Pebble Juice, but that's besides the point. This guy is absolutely outstanding, and yes, I know he had some trouble in the Dodgers series and the playoffs, but for a guy that is doing as well as he is for the Phillies right now, this year in 2026, he's at a 1.42 ERA. He's got 8 saves on the year. It's helping out my fantasy team a whole hell of a lot right now in just about 12 innings. And this is after he got hurt. It was like some freak injury, and he's still coming back, and he's still absolutely dominating. It's just insane, and it is a beautiful thing because the one thing with this Phillies team for the last couple of years, yes, we can talk about the hitting at the top all day long, but this bullpen has given Phillies fans nightmares for the last seemingly 10 years. 2021, I think it was, the Phillies had the worst bullpen in the entire league, if I'm not mistaken, statistically speaking. So to have a guy at the top that is arguably the best closer in the league, it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, yeah, I think that is going to wrap things up. It's just me solo tonight. I was supposed to be off, but I forgot about it last second. I can't help not talking about my Phils, man. I can't help it. This team has me locked in. They are killing it under Philly Don, and you know that's another thing that I kind of wanted to get into real quick. Philly Don, I'll say this: managers in this league, they don't have as big of an impact as people think, but on a broader level, this team needed change. This team needed a shakeup. And after Rob was fired, this team, I think they had to look at themselves in the mirror, and they had to say, damn, we really got this guy fired. This nice guy, this clubhouse guy that, yeah, might not have been as tough on his players as you want, but he was still a good guy in the clubhouse, an outstanding gentleman, and a guy that got the Phillies to 2 straight NL East titles and the World Series after a horrendous start under Joe Girardi. But they looked in the mirror and they say, damn, we got this guy fired. What do we have to do to, keep Donnie Baseball's job alive? And there's one answer to that: win. And so far, he's done exactly that. He's got the veteran leadership, which is awesome. But I think not just, I don't think that this culture thing is 100% on Donnie Baseball, on Don Mattingly. But I do think that this team got a little bit of a shakeup. They needed a shakeup. They needed something that said something needs to change, and something did. And they saw that, and they ran with it. They absolutely ran with it. And does this translate into October? Remains to be seen. But we remember 2022. We remember Girardi, that horrific start. And the same thing. The vibes were at an all-time low. And they brought in Rob. They brought in that steady presence. And they went on a run. Now, it wasn't the most ideal thing in the world, for sure. But they started off as a wild card. They got that done. They beat the Braves, and they beat the Padres, and they get it all in the World Series. So, what more could you ask from the Phillies right now? Now the big test again is going to be after this Red Series. It's going to be a bunch of really tough games: Padres, Dodgers, White Sox, and Blue Jays. Those are all right now really good teams to a degree. The White Sox they're on a hot streak. Same as the Dodgers, although a lot of people said that the Dodgers are going to be the World Series favorite, to which I probably agree. But this Phillies team, when they're on a roll, man, that there is nothing that can get in their way. But want to thank you all for watching this quick edition of the Phillies post-game show. Want to thank Gavin for showing up. Appreciate you, big dog. We are back. The Phillies are back, and it's a beautiful thing. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Phillies postgame show. I'm Jess, and let's go, Phils.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's going, and it is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today.